Hello guys, and welcome back to the Hellcase Cup. It's the final day of Group A. We're going to be finding out who gets through to the next stage, and things are getting pretty interesting in this group. Now, there is a possibility, a small one, I'll admit, of a three-way tie. Now, I am always interested in a three-way tie because, well, it's interesting. That's the biggest thing about it. But, the problem being, obviously I don't have to do the maths, so it's all perfect for me. I don't really have to do anything there. But there's a chance that if Team123 can 2-0 Pride, and then we see Binary Dragons 2-0 Exodus, that we have 3 wins for Binary Dragons, all 2-0s, and then we also have everybody else on 1 win and 2 losses, and all 0-2s or 2-0s. So it would mean that it goes down to rounds, which could make things very interesting indeed. Of course, that means that Pride have to fall at this hurdle, and of course Binary Dragons have to win their game for Team123 to have any chance. So they are in a must-win situation, and also praying that later today Binary Dragons help them out, and then there's a chance at least that they can get through on round difference. Either way, Pride, they're going to be starting things off. We've got the map of Mirage. I can bring you up briefly the map picks just before anything begins. It'll be Mirage, chosen by Pride. Nuke actually picked by Team123, which I don't think Pride will be too unhappy about at all, and then Train as a final matchup, which I don't think is a bad map pool for either of the teams. I think they're going to be pretty happy going into this one, as, well, pretty much either of these teams could actually end up taking this one by storm. Either way, Team123 starting off on that T side and starting off with a first kill as well as they go barreling down that mid segment. Exodus is going to spot them as they attempt to take short control, but they've also begun to push onto the A site, leaving Morales on 5 HP and praying for some help from his team. However, the T's have taken so much map control. They're sitting pretty. They're waiting to try and catch some of these CT players out. Luz will be able to return onto Rezex, and Reach somehow getting away with just jumping around on those stairs has snuck his way in for an extra kill himself, bringing things back into a 3 versus 3, but Basso looking to pick things up as he hits himself a headshot, gets himself a 3rd kill as well. And now Reach, well, he's rotating in the right direction. Problem is, they should almost definitely know where he is. I think Cellrate should be able to hear the footsteps from here. And we'll just be waiting. Oh, no. Is he? Oh, you cheeky... Oh, no! He's mucked it up. He's mucked it up. He's given Reach an opening into this round. The knife doing... I don't even know how it does that much damage. Genuinely no idea how he does that much damage with a right-click knife. How... wait. How's he done 76 damage? Because a right-click not to the back is 55. Then a right-click to the back is a kill. So, what's he done? Like, slipped it in between? Either way, it hasn't worked, but... peculiar. Peculiar indeed. Well, either way, the T's are going to take that round. A little bit of embarrassment will come out for the T's. That fails, and actually they're going to help out a little bit more by doing some damage onto Cellrate. Now you have to remember, 1 right click plus left click. Ah, okay. I must have just been laughing too hard to see the left click. NATO up in apps. They've got 3 AKs in this round, so you can see that the AKs should at least be going in towards this sort of mid-control area or playing passively. So you got 1. Oh, I switch back. NATO actually gets a kill. And this is just because they want to be playing range. The SMGs are perfect for this up-close battle. Oh, Exodus actually gets a fadeaway kill there, which is a little bit lucky. That second shot connecting straight onto the dome. And in the meantime, they've actually had a trade back. Luckily for them, they've got Rezex to do the damage. He's going to get the triple and bring it back into a 1 versus 1. But retrieving the bomb is about to become a little bit more difficult. Now, if you want to know who the caster is, !caster in the chat, #sellout. I'll take you to my Twitter, and you can find out, not very much actually, you find out I like shotguns, and I've casted for a few different companies, and that I retweet a lot of rubbish. But that's basically what Twitter is. Either way, Rezex. He's going to finish this off. Doesn't even need the bomb. He doesn't need it. He's going to retrieve it afterwards and look to plant it for that extra cash. But it won't matter too much. However, CT side doing a lot of damage. They've caught off quite a few of these players, and in fact, they're going to invest. Now, this is ballsy, to say the least. We saw this work out for them on the T side of Cash just yesterday, but I don't like it. I'm not a fan. It can put you down very early on. One benefit, though, is you got 2 MAC-10s. Team123 looking to farm up some cash. You're not expecting any armor players, not expecting utility, and not expecting these pistols to be in play. However, it may not matter as Masso is going to start things off with a MAC-10. He will lose his life again. Exus with this 5.7 is an absolute beast at the moment. Gets himself 2. The Molotov going to look to clear him out of position, force him to move out of the way, and that will give NATO the kill. Smart stuff from him, using his utility wisely, and that will open up the site completely, as now the remaining 2 players with little left to lose have to try and take this round. Remember, this is full investment from the CT side. This is their attempt to win a round. Not just do damage, not do a little bit extra, to win it. And it's not working, as Rezex will clean up 3 once again. Already sitting pretty at the top of the board, 8-1. And this is where you have to call into question that force. Now, I can justify it, of course. I can justify why they did it. This is why. 1 player. If they win that round, they reset their opponents, and they go forward into the game with an extra advantage. Instead, what they've actually done is hand over another round to Team123. Give them a round versus just pistols, a few P250s, a 5.7 armor for Exus, who's been the one getting the majority of the kills. But it's not really working. Now, this is prize map pick as well, so they want to be off to a good start. They're not safe yet. If they win this game, they pretty much guarantee themselves through.
Bomb has been planted.
Gonna see Molotov go out. Already looking to do a little bit extra damage, but unable to really find too much. They've dropped a player at least. Thus far, not really able to do too much. Just looking not to really give any extra money over at the moment. Holding for exits, hoping they can spot someone. But it's not to be, not to happen, and it will be another round on the board. Now, for anybody wondering the previous results, as said, Exitus and Binary Dragons both beating Team123. Pride losing to Binary Dragons and then beating Exitus. So if they win this one, they will be through. Or pretty much. They're still sort of relying on Binary Dragons to go 3-0, but they have looked very strong in this matchup so far. Either way, we have a bye now. Maniz will be able to afford an AWP. It's glass cannon. He'll get some extra nades behind it. $50 short of Kevlar. Spot morales. He's going to find a lot of early damage in, but the rest of the team now looking to push through. Knowing the knowledge of one of these players. Smoke's actually falling to create a wall. I like this. Actually opening up the site for them. The problem is they haven't got that one crucial infantry frag. This is the person they need to kill on the site, and it's given an opportunity for Maniz to find a little bit more in the meantime. Smoke's now fading. Look how low these T players currently sit. Through the wall as well. Exus, that's wonderful. Catches out Cypher and so low. Don't know why he's peeking in this situation. And now it's all onto this AWP. NATO, he's able to spot out onto the bomb. The problem is the smoke going down. Nizzy has to hit the shot, and they're diffusing from the left. He will actually hit onto one of the players, but he can't connect the rest. And he's not going to be able to deny that fuse. Maniz will even take his head off at the end just to make sure that he's not coming back with that AWP. Although he can. He actually has enough money to do it anyway. We are going to see some mid presence now, taking out from this T side once again. Something they were challenging for in the earlier rounds, but in round number 5, they just went for a straight up execute. Nice shot from Selray. Will deny Maniz, however. One of the pivotal players in the last round with that AWP, able to stop NATO in his tracks. Another one for Cellrate as well, just opening up this mid position and leaving a very difficult situation at the moment now for Pride. Exus will be able to get one back. He's been doing well so far, as said. Mainly with the 5.7, but looking to do more with the rifle. Basso also going to be able to bring in one for himself. Now Exus still trying to do more. He's got himself a second in this round. 3 players to deal with. He's got the support of Luz coming in on the flank. Question is, if he's too loud from this situation, they may actually hear him. I don't think they have. This could be perfect. He needs to get this very well timed. His teammate going to take the peek in the meantime, but actually NATO's going to turn around. That could be the round on its head. Ecstasy needs to go for the ace to do anything here, and Cyclone will deny. Actually picking up an M4, which is interesting. I know there's still the thing about preference, but picking up an M4 when you're going into a round, not only versus Eco, but when the AK is just a better weapon in general, is a bit peculiar, but CT side finally getting a buy. They get one and then they're done, and that's a big problem for them in terms of economy. They're saving in this round, and if you look at the money, 1900 for some of the players won't even make that much of a difference. Probably allow them to get a buy with UMPs. That's about it. Few rifles on board. If anything, they may have to double eco in this situation. Actually go for some pistols again in the next. Exus. Aggressive peek. Caught out. Gets them a little bit of information, but nothing too substantial. Luz is gonna... Well, he should be able to give his team a lot of information here. The problem is they're actually rotating in the wrong direction, which is intriguing. Why let this T side have the A side? Although they now seem to be in position as the push begins to come in. Morales is going to have lots of Molotovs into his corner. And instantly pushed out of the site. Luz, the only one left. Maybe able to find one. Rezex and Cellrate very low on HP. But it's just a shooting range for Basso. He's yet to take any damage as that duel begins. And Team123 on Mirage, which, to be fair to them, has actually been a map that they've looked pretty good on. It's just such a small sample size for the amount of maps this team have actually played. It's quite difficult to really tell where their strengths lie, but I think the only loss they've actually had on this map was against Big. And the other two have been victories. Luz, MP7. I've not seen this gun in a little while. He's going to try and do something up the top of mid. X is spraying through the smoke. We'll be able to give them the first. Actually going to switch around as Basso now looks to try and counter. Timing not going to pay off for him. In the meantime, Reet's going to be finding another one as well. Can Basso do the damage once again? Yes, he can. Instant double headshot. Well, actually, only one of them was a headshot, but the second one was beautiful. As though he has been the man to turn the tides in some of these rounds. They should hear the Molotov doing extra damage. Smoke going to go out. Trying to deny any further presence into the window and allow him to fade away. Cyclone as well. Going to see them pushing onto short. There's only one man here. It's Morales. He is one of the rifle players. In fact, every single member on this CT side now has a rifle in hand. Rotation in, but already will lose one. It's going to be down to Exus, and he just makes mistakes. Can't quite capitalize on the position of Cyclone, and that leaves only Reetz alive. Running through the Molotov. Now 2 players are low. He's got a decent chance in this situation, but he's got to be wary of that AWP. I wonder if NATO will have actually spotted him as he crosses, if they know exactly where he is now, and already Cyclone puts him down to 13 HP. He joins his opponents in that department, and Cyclone taking a lot of bullets in this position. But he's still going to survive and take people with him. Getting a bit worrying for Pride now, in fact. You have to look at just the way they're playing as well. Even in that retake scenario, they were pushing it individually. It's a 3-on-3. Could be waiting to play that as a team. NATO up the top of mid. Finds himself the first. It is just pistols in this round, though, and not really expecting a whole lot from them so far. Only this man has been able to do any real damage, and a lot of his kills, although crucial to his team, haven't actually been very impactful. Like, they haven't won any of the rounds. He's done damage, which is great. And if they'd reset, if they'd won a round in between, then maybe that could have been the reset going on to Team 123. Instead, they've only managed to win 1 round total, and it was instantly traded back by the T's. Maps for this are going to be Mirage, then Nuke, and then Train, if we get that far. But we're going to need to see a change of tune. Luz, he gets away with 1. He's actually lost his weapon in the meantime as he tries to fall back. And Morels is going to be left on the wrong site as Team 123 go to take their 8th round. 8 on the T side.
Bomb has been planted.
Morales hoping for an exit. Now he's got NATO up in apps. If somehow NATO misses this shot and he can steal that AWP, that would be magnificent. Actually does miss the shot, giving him an opportunity. Unfortunately, Cellray and the rest of the team just gather up to take him down. 1 to 8 at the moment. A change needs to come in, and it needs to come in now. Pride, I'm a little bit disappointed we haven't seen a pause from them, if I'm honest. Very, very sketchy. Orp once again in for Manise, but it's not got any armor behind it. You have to wonder if he needs to stop investing into pistols in these previous rounds. He hasn't been able to do anything with it at the moment. Basso looking to play aggressively. Push. Basso. Managed to get himself into the corner of apps, which gives him a decent position, especially if Exus goes to move. It could be a bit of a problem. Mid control already falling. The T's still with both sites as an option. But with Luz finding that kill, you expect them to now look to split towards this A site. It's been a little while since we've seen the first kill actually go the way of Pride, so we'll see if they can actually build something off it. Rezex looking for the peak. He's not going to win that duel either. Reitz will be able to capitalize on his position, and now it leaves the T's pretty much just stuck in mid. They don't have the bomb. They don't really have any hope in this situation unless Cyclone can really open up this site and do it very quickly indeed. Reitz is just going to fall back, try and play for some time, but he doesn't need it as he hits the headshot onto Cyclone and leaves NATO alone with the AWP. The likelihood is in this situation, he's just going to look to try and save this one. Not really looking for anything either. He's just trying to stick in apps, hope that maybe somebody pushes in, he can do some extra damage. Make things more costly, of course, for Pride, because they've already done this once where they managed to win 1 round. We'll see if it happens again. Now look at the money. Even without saving that AWP, NATO could have bought another one. He could have bought another 2 if he really wanted it. But if Pride can get this back to 7 rounds, who knows? They've definitely got the individuals to drag them through on the T side. T's just going for a much more default round this time. Couple of players in under. Looking like they're setting up for what will be an A split through connector. Now with 2 players relatively close to that app's position, the rotations are going to be very slow. There's nobody playing around market. No real positioning to be had, so it's going to be very much dedicated. They don't even have a player on short either, so the mid presence is so minimal that it just gives a huge opportunity now to open onto the site as the smokes have now faded. They look to just clear out these angles. Reitz playing close on the site, just trying his best to survive. He's going to be spotted out. The trade will be instantaneous, and Cyclone doubles his luck as well. as only 2 players remain for the CT side. And as said, the rotation is just going to be so long because of the positions that they're actually playing, that this quicker push, this speed up in strategy, has worked perfectly. Luz just looks to save his weapon. As said, they're going to be completely reset going into the next. He'll be able to drop a rifle. Maniz may be able to get something along with Exus, but it's not going to be a good buy. And, well, at the moment, they're looking completely out of this matchup. Team123 has said to even have a chance of survival in this situation, they have got to win this match. And just win it in dominant fashion as well. They need to absolutely destroy Pride to have any hope. Make sure that their round difference is better, because as said, if Binary Dragons then go on to beat Exodus, there's actually a chance they can still get out of this group, even going 0-2 for the first games that they played. As said, we're going to have an investment from the CT side. They've saved an AK, they've dropped a rifle. FAMAS will come alongside. It will be a 5-7 and a UMP. And if I'm honest, I would have quite liked to see Exus on the 5-7. It's been his weapon of choice so far. Binary Dragons or Exodus. I wouldn't like to be the one choosing between those two. Binary Dragons look better so far, but Exodus with Frozen dropping 38 kills yesterday was very, very impressive. This is the map pick of Pride. So, not a great start, is it? 9-2 down. I do think they're a decent nuke team, though. They took Binary Dragons to 16-14, all 30 rounds. Luz looking for the kick. Can't find anything at the moment, and they're already going to lose morales as well through that connector. Now the push is just going to come rushing in towards this B site. Going to be one player towards the back, and we're going to spot out Maniz, and instantly they're just cleaned up one by one. It's just poor. They didn't even manage to get a single kill with a force buy. That was a full investment out from Pride. And now they have to deal with what will just be pistols. This is just troublesome. Lord Gaben having a little giggle at the situation of the polls at the moment is, well, looking like they're going to be at least 11-2 down as they come into an X-buy. And even then, 2,400, it's not going to bring them anything too pretty. Some rifles at least. Maniz at least gets one. Doesn't have any armor, but he will pick up a rifle. The aggression seemingly only one of the only ways that we've seen any kills really come in at the moment for Pride. They're going to look to try and take further map control. We see that push just continue into apps. Hello, Blue Sky. Blue Sky, bring tears. I remember that name from the other day. Luz. Ping away, able to get one. Is this really going to be the way that they actually turn the tide as Luz now gets himself a second? Is it just P250s all you need at this case? Maybe not. As NATO and Reitz will quickly turn this back into a 2 versus 2. Reitz on the site. Rezek's very low as well. Maniz with the AK. Could be an interesting factor. Hello, Diego. And Maniz will actually be able to get one with the rifle, leaving it on to NATO. Down to just 7 HP. Gonna fake out the bomb plant. Go for the peek, and it comes close, but Maniz will be able to wrestle the beast of that aim punch. And somehow, the one round they managed to win is the P250 buy. Of course it is. Welcome to Counter-Strike. Pride giving themselves a bit of a lifeline, but they need to convert the final 2 rounds. They want to at least have a fighting chance if they lose that pistol. Also the CT side, more commonly the stronger of the 2 as well. So, Team123 already in a very good position overall. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. Morale starts things off. As said, the aggression seems to be working for them at the moment and bringing that into their play a little bit more. May just be what catches out Team123. And he's going to go for the re-peek into middle and catches a second, so definitely seems to be the difference at the moment. We know that individually for a skilled team, especially Maniz, Morels as well. Hits the dink, tries to follow it up with a dunk, but can't quite do it, and trades back again. Even advantageous situations. Fall back and a no-scope from NATO. Brings it into a 2 versus 2. Make it a 2v1 as the round just being thrown away at the moment from Pride. Leaving only Luz left. He finds the kill onto the AWPer. Looks for one more. Cyclone trying to reposition over towards ramp. This is all going to be about those mind games. A Molotov on Luz, but he doesn't have a kit. Could be one to find, which he has. Now even look to just try and use this utility, but the problem is he has absolutely no idea where his opponent is. Just going to go straight for the defuse, and actually falls off it. He would have had it. He would have had it completely, but he has absolutely no idea where his opponent currently stands. And Luz, what on earth is going on, my friend? He's just completely lost the bomb. Now going for the defuse. If he somehow wins this round, this is absolutely ridiculous. That is one of the worst smoke diffusers I've ever seen in my life. Probably about 20 different mistakes made by Luz, but he still gets the defuse. And Team123 will be absolutely kicking themselves when they watch that back later today. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe that worked. NATO not happy how the last round went down. He's going to start things off with the kill into middle. Got to be careful of the push coming through. A crossfire set up for the CT side. Already, it's position from Morales over towards ramp, which makes things a little bit more difficult for the T's. They need to clear him out. They're not going to be able to. The flashbang denying. NATO goes down as well. And somehow the 10-5 looking like it's about to come around. The full eco win. A defuse that should never have been. And now a force buy. Looks like it's going to work as well. Team123 giving a way back into this one. Now Basso, just going to sit on the site, hoping that somebody pushes in, hoping that someone thinks he's rotated away to the B site. That's the big play here. But if you look at the positions currently being held from the CTs, they're playing it patient. Morels, only peeking out to get himself a rifle. We'll give a sound cue. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't look like they're budging at all, although a slight rotation will come back. As said, Bassett will be given the sound cue. He's able to pick off one. Going to go straight for the plant in CT now. Exus not looking like he's going to re-peek this in time. Gives a little bit of extra time, but never mind. Will just peek out after the bomb goes down. Catches Basso facing the wrong way. Plenty of angles to actually spot. And in that situation, it was impossible. So 10-5. Pride at least rectifying their mistakes towards the very end. Although even still, they were sort of winning clutches and winning silly rounds that they should never have got. So, if anything, this scoreline could have been so much worse. We'll see if they can pull something back over on the T side. Still got a lot to do, but as said, individually, they've got a lot of good players. Luz hasn't started too badly, and on the T side, he can definitely have moments. Maniz has been very quiet so far, but Maniz having 2 quiet halves is pretty rare. So if he can step up going into this second, who knows what can come about. Of course, Team123 going onto the favoured side of the map with a 10-5 lead are going to be feeling confident. Even after throwing a few in the last, it's going to be Rush B. The classic strategy stolen from the CIS themselves. Now Rezek's just going to fall back. Look to try and catch someone. Play this one as a team. Nobody's rotated yet, though. This is odd. Very slow reaction. It must have been spotted that all of the players were rushing that way. I guess they just expected the fact that maybe they could have actually gone back towards that A side. The fact is they were wrong. We are going to just spot out a couple of trades either side. And it's the CTs who look like they were coming out on top and still are for now. Man advantage changed back by Maniz. Cyclone without armor, but does have himself a kit to play with. Bomb ticking very fast, however, and they've got to isolate these kills quickly. Selro able to get the first and the second as well. Is there enough time for the defuse? Just about. Team123 with the retake paying off. 11-5. Bomb going down, though, does give the possibility for a force for Pride. And actually, they are going to go for it. Now, I'm much more of a fan of making sure you have the AKs getting your full buy on the board. Pride as a team just seem to be one that love to play with these pistols. And in fact, Mani's actually going to take the hit and drop a rifle as well. And the CT's obviously with a much better buy in this situation. They win this round, the next one, without a bomb plant, will be for free. However, Pride, in a situation where they pretty much have to win, otherwise they are forcing themselves out of this game. Basso able to get one, stuck in the corner with a Molotov wall, just spray wildly, do some extra damage at least, but already it's actually a two-man advantage, and Reitz is just about going to be able to catch one more. The spray from Rezex is wild, and he's just caught out by Morels, leaving Cellrate alone in this situation. And Reitz has 2 HP. Morels, in the meantime, however, has picked himself up a rifle. The range of this UMP has been severely nerfed.
Bomb has been planted.
Hot flash out. Trying to play off of where they last saw Cellrate. He's already much closer than they possibly expect. Morel's going to go running away and will leave it into a 1v1. Over to the Deeg, hits the shot, but not the head. And it will be a trade back. The force by working wonderfully. P7 again. Maybe it's the comeback of this weapon. I've seen MBK use it a few times. I think Apex seems to be a fan of it as well. But not too many players buying the MP7 as of yet. Of course, a dominating first half. 10-5. Only the last few really rectifying anything for Pride in this situation. But they have managed to break one back. Now the force buy will be in from the CTs, investing everything they have. But as of yet to really find out too much information. So, Rate going to be over towards this window spot by the ladder room. Doesn't really spot out too much. And the fact is they've creeped past him going towards this A site. Already they're going to clear the player on ramp, leaving just Cyclone alone. An awful lot to do. Just going to hide towards Firebox. Will be able to take one. Instant headshot. Looking to try and get a little bit more, but he cannot. And in the meantime, he's losing teammates as well. NATO grades things out. But they're so low on HP at this point. Lovely shot from Rezex, though. We'll at least take one. They're making things costly. Denying much of a chance for the T's to build up too much cash, although the next round should be for free. Although Rezex, deciding it's not worth going for the fight in this situation, will just fall out. Take himself the rifle and wait for the next. Yeah, no, with the UMP, like, at close range, there really isn't much of a difference at all. It's pretty much the same weapon. But at range, the damage drop-off is heavy. Like, I've been shooting at people, hit them 2 or 3 times in the head, and just been sat there like, what? A minute ago, this was a kill. Now, I've done, like, 60 damage, if that. So, yeah, big range drop-off. I think it's the right choice as well. Still a good weapon, especially if you use it wisely, but... yeah, it's been nerfed in a decent way. Rezex. The PP Bison is magnificent. How dare you speak of the PP Bison in vain? It is our savior, our lord, and only the pros can use it. Rezex, double kill already with that AK. We know that he's trying to do damage in this situation. Maniz will be able to trade a couple back, but Rezex is going aggressive, trying to find him in that corner. However, won't be able to spot him. The smoke should give him enough time to get out of there. Now, he's the one with the bomb as well. Great. He's going to ruin any more chance of some damage. Although, Cellrate could catch him. The X is not going to allow it. 3 players surviving means some money will be made from the tees, but now they're going to have to come up against a buy. Now, there isn't going to be an AWP, unless it's... Oh, I'm not a fan of this. This is something that I would never condone. Because I get that you rely on an AWP heavily, especially on a map like Mirage. Don't get me wrong. It is powerful to have an AWP, especially if the player's playing well. But a rifle with no armor as a choice. Like, people do it by accident all the time. We saw it quite a bit yesterday. But having it as a choice... It's alright. It's going to be able to start things off. We are going to have trades back thus far, leaving it into a 3 versus 3. Morel's able to get one more as well. Of course, this is the buy-in at the moment. Going to lose the player who didn't have any armor. Cellray and NATO looking to try and bring this back. Cellray not able to do anything, but NATO will be in position. He's getting sprayed down through the wall. Pop flash out. Actually blinds too. Lovely no-scope from him as well. Leaving it onto Cellray. 1 versus 1. He doesn't know. Or will he have heard? Will he have heard Luz actually running around the corner? I think he's got the information. It means it will be the 1v1 coming onto the site. Now let's see what Luz actually plants for. He's gone for a safer plant, which means in terms of the way he has to play this, he has to be very, very careful of a lot of angles, as he can't just play the time on the bomb. But it doesn't matter. He's going to just decimate Cellray as he goes to jump through the window. And that will be 9-11. Pride slowly making this comeback happen, in fact. 4 rounds in a row. CT side. Not going to be investing a whole lot into this. NATO saving for the AWP, which he will be able to afford. Max loss bonus coming in, so they can afford to get around to that sort of 2k marker for the rest of the team. Ooh. Lovely shot coming in from Cyclone, and actually they're doing quite a bit of damage in the meantime. They've brought themselves to an advantage. Rezix as well hits a shot, bringing Luz down to just 9 HP. Maybe they're about to return the favor of what we had in the previous half, but Morels to be able to get one. Looking for a little bit more, but can't quite connect onto the players pushing in through market. They're all coming in from the same angle as well, which means trade's actually quite likely for the CT side, although they could just line up for Morels, who's actually going to kill 2. Looking for the 3rd as well. Quad kill for him, securing at least some extra money for his team as well, as 3 players will survive. And although he'll remain very, very low on HP by the end of it, in fact, 1 HP by the end of it, it will be enough for his team to survive the onslaught of Deagles. CT side, finally with a full buy, which is something we haven't really seen so far. Cyclone in middle. The AWP of NATO trying to peek out to the connector, but he's playing passive at the moment. Doesn't want to be caught out, and actually the push is just going to come straight out onto the A site. Basso has got a lot of work to do, and it looks like he's going to achieve absolutely nothing. Burns in the fire of flames. Cyclone is here to at least try and make it a fight on the site. He'll take down 1. Tries to do extra damage to the 2nd, but can't quite do too much, as the bomb now will be planted and a retake scenario will begin. Cellray smoked out. He's got support from NATO as well. They've got decent positioning. The problem at the moment is Morels is just going to be going around the flank. Because of the bomb's plant, be relatively easy to hold on to this one, especially with his flank. Look, he's going to spot out both players. Just play this smart, but doesn't quite get the kill onto Rezix, which makes things a little bit more interesting. But now NATO just jumping onto the site will fall. AWP even going to be saved up for Maniz as well. And Pride, after what was a poor start to this game, going 10-5 down and losing the pistol, they've now evened up the scoreline. You're getting ads every 20 seconds. I don't actually control the ads in any way, so that's really weird. There is software available. Hint, hint. Shh. I won't tell anyone if you don't. Although I will. I'm going to report your name. Hello, King. How's it going? NATO. Start things off. Pistol kill. Damage onto Luz as well. They picked up an AK. We've seen them actually do better in the last couple of pistol rounds than we've seen actually in the buy rounds. Rails. Again, going to be the one just to save them in these eco round scenarios. Go down in the Ember. Luz is quickly able to trade. Now Rezek's the only one left alive. 20 kills so far for him. 23 if he wants to win this one. Hey, I might not have been referring to Adblock. I could have been talking about whatever that Twitch thing is. The what is that called? Not Twitch Prime. The like Super Twitch. Like I'm Twitch man. Rezex. That's one. Doesn't have a kit. Turbo. There you go. Lord Sumo knows he's even got it. Sumo, even. Not Sumo. That's a big man. Maniz. I'm not going to allow anything for Rezek. He didn't have time anyway, so nothing really that could be achieved. They're keeping the economy low of their opponents, at least in terms of that round. But look at the money overall. 8,000 on multiple players. Team123. Looking like they may just have thrown this one away. 12 to 11. A streak of 7 rounds. No, I didn't just count that. Shh. I knew it all along. That was all just part of the charade. B-side. Looking to make their attack over towards this A side. Actually, 2 players in dark. However, Molotovs have gone into this position every single time. And they will be going in again, along with a lot of nades. It's just going to be a slaughter. Double Molotov kill to start off the round. And now, NATO will just run away. Nothing he can do. His teammates have been burnt at the stake. And the thing I have to wonder as well. Okay. Now, it's fair if you don't read into situations. Occasionally, you miss things. But whoever has been playing in dark the majority of rounds has been Molotoved out. The same 2 Molotovs. The one a little bit further out, and then the one closer in towards the ladder. They've done that maybe 3 or 4 times going onto the A site. Why would you then put 2 players in dark? Seems like a misread. Seems like a mistake. NATO. He's doing his best to hold on to it. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That has got to hurt. That is a shot that he should be hitting all day long, and I do have to question whether or not some level of tilt has now come in. I wouldn't blame them at this point. 8 rounds in a row. Where's the tactical pause, Team123? Where's that slowdown? Where's that momentum breaker? It doesn't even matter if you haven't got any new strategies to talk about. At least take that pause. Give yourself a second to think, to breathe, to maybe punch your desk a little bit. Whatever it takes to reset this momentum. They're going to go aggressive, pushing onto Luz. Flashbang is perfect, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't need his eyes. He doesn't. He's a magician. CT side praying for a miracle in this situation. It's not going to happen in this round. Unless they've got some magical powers to just turn this on its head. No armor, no kits. Oh, actually, wait. No, Cyclone has armor. Teammate's dead, so he doesn't have anything. Cyclone going to be spamming shots away, but like Neo, Maniz will dodge them for a bit, and eventually he will go down. I think it's actually Neo's birthday today. It is true. I did say that at the beginning that the round difference was important, but the fact is, okay, so say they manage to 2-0 this, which now looks very, very bleak. Say Exodus gets smashed, then there's always a chance. I think Pride actually did relatively well, though, so that may be the problem. And there's also a second map. What if you manage to 16-0 it? It's unlikely, but you should... I don't think they've given up. I think it may just be tilt in another sense. Maniz, out through middle. hasn't had that much of a resurgence in this second half. Only 10 kills, but he's still just had the rest of his team stepping up. It's pretty much a performance throughout all of them. Every single player above 16 kills. Top player on 20. It's always nice to see. The same can be said, though, for the CT. Sale rate's a little bit behind, but not by anything major. Now, this time, Basso going to be playing above. You can actually Molotov this position with bouncing it off the top. The little... I don't actually know what this is called. The A-site sign. There you go. Or just default. That's what most people call that section. Either way. Nice shot from NATO. Starts things off. Not going to be missing a simple one this time. Basso with another as well. Basso. Actually doing great work this time. Maybe he's found his way to play that close spot, but as I say, Luz will behead him. If they're not careful, they'll be heading out of this tournament. Hey, best joke EU. ResX doesn't like my joke, so he's going to try and change that fact. As they clear up the remaining 2 players. It's been a long, long hiatus from the board. 9 rounds, in fact. Again, not counting, even though it says it here. (14-12). They lose this round. This game is pretty much done. Or this map. It's a best of 3, of course. But at the same time, I think the round difference will probably put them out of the tournament. So they need to save themselves here, Team123. The Danes wanting to show what they've got. The pride of Danish CS. We've got a big match in terms of Poland versus the Danish coming up for the E-League showdown. Let's see who's able to take it in this circumstance. Maybe that's what you guys should run it off. Either way, ResX trades the first kill. Looking for more. Gets himself a double, which is enough for now. Cellray actually catches out Miniz as well. Only 2 Ts remaining. Cyclone. Actually a very aggressive peek. You have the man advantage, my friend. No reason to go attacking your opponents. In fact, it's turned it back around. The T's playing patiently. Reeks just holding the angle, and Cellray, as he peeks, goes down as well. This allows them to get the bomb down. NATO going to push in as the bomb is being planted. Knowing the position of one of the players gives him a chance to find the second. But he needs a mistake to be made from one of these T's, and they've been very good at just holding these angles at this point. Not to be in this situation. Reeks takes the head off of NATO. No 1v2 for you. But if anything, I don't think NATO can be blamed in that situation. His teammate pushing aggressively just... I don't know why it happens. Play it as a team. You're in a 3 versus 2. You need to at least have a chance to trade. You going in individually like that, sure, maybe 1 out of 2. Maybe it's a 50-50 challenge. But you lose that and it instantly turns around into a 50-50, which would have been some percentage, which I'm not going to try and work out. If someone wants to do it for me, it's probably very simple, but I'm bad at maths. Luz. Aggressively pushing over towards this B site, and he's pulled a full rotation. 1 player. Second pushing in as well. But there is now only 1 over towards this A site. Now, luckily for them, they don't actually know that the T's are about to push in, so maybe they'll rotate back in time. The T's also don't know that every single player is currently there. In fact, they're actually going to begin to clear out angles. Only 1 man sits. NATO. Boosted on the little pots. Waiting for the rotation to come in. His teammates are soon going to spot the problems. As Cellray has absolutely no idea. And I think that may be just lack of information. NATO trying to survive, but it can't happen at the moment. And now they've got a retake situation. Cyclone doing some damage. Actually, there's a few low players now. They don't have a kit, however, so they have to move very quickly. It's all going to be about the fragging. They've got to clean up these players as soon as they possibly can. And look at Morels. There's no way they're going to see this coming. He's just going to be in from behind the smoke, actually shielding them for now. Going to be tapping the bomb. Going to go aggressive as well, but it will be finished off. Pride with an incredible comeback. 9-round streak, followed by only losing 1 buy round in that matchup. Brilliant stuff from them on the T side. Still got some work to do over on their CT side, of course. But now they push on to Nuke, a map that went 16-14 when they played it just the other day versus Binary Dragons. If they can take this, they pretty much cement their spot. I think it would take Exetus winning in quite a fashion. We've also got the chance that if Exetus win, we have 3 teams actually on 2 wins apiece. So maybe that will happen. Maybe that'll be a little bit more interesting. But either way, it is going to be the 16-12. I'm going to go for a little bit of a break. I'll be back in just a moment with map number 2.